Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's wee Paddy from across the shop, and this is another nice wee video. This is one of my collection videos, and th- this really does explain me and my knife collecting. Because yesterday I done a video on a knife that cost me, well, it didn't cost me to buy, is £1,350, 1,700 odd dollars. And then today I'm doing knives, and there's not one of them over 30 odd pound. They're on the 30s. I think there's only one in the 30s, and the rest are all very, very budget. But it's part of my collection, and I enjoy these. And it's strange, Is that a much better knife, and do I love it more? Yeah, of course I do. But I still enjoy this, and I still enjoy finding these little nuggets that are around the place, and having them in the collection. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on each of these. Um, there's maybe a couple you haven't seen, or a couple that I've had for years and I haven't brought out. But we'll just run through what I've got. The first one is this, and these are all wooden handle knives. And I have more open L's. They're in bags all over the place. But I picked three that are a different size, and things have been changed in some of them. Well, in all of them, actually. So I'm going to start with this one. This is a budget sodbuster. That was bought on one of those American sites that sends you out the magazine, and you buy, knives for really budget prices. This one's in carbon steel, and lovely wood handles. The fit and finish, really, really good. And I mean, excellently good. Superb blade that lasted much longer than I'd every right to for this price of a knife, because this was only $10. This was sent to me by JB. We all know him at Big Red EDC years ago, when we first sort of were just starting. He got these off one of the magazine, and it was his giveaway knives. Now, I've just seen there, it says in the top, the very corner there, you'll hardly see it, just says in there, China. So, but at that time, Love Them Knives was doing testing of Rockwells, and JB sent him one of these to test. And guess what the blade steel came back at? Now, this is a $10 knife. And at one stage he was getting, you buy one, you got one free. He was getting them for $5, and they were his sort of channel knife. And it came back $10.95. Would you believe that? $10.95 for $10. Just fantastic. Lovely wooden handles on it too, I have to say. Really, really nice. Bit different at the back, but that front handle is just gorgeous. For a $10 knife, I don't have anything that can compare to that. Listen to that snap. And look at the blade centering, absolutely fine. There's hardly a gap. I think there's one wee gap at the bottom. Yeah, there's one wee gap there. But that's it. The rest of it is all absolutely perfect. So, I mean, it's just, you couldn't beat that for value. There's a great work knife that you're not going to worry about what you do. And then we're going to go to three open L's. A couple of these were sent to me by a subscriber. And this one is just, oh, let me get around here. This one has been doctored. This is a number 8, and it's been turned into a sheep's foot, or it's for whittling. This is for taking the big chunks off when you're whittling something. That's what it was made for. This handle's been just beautifully done. Really is lovely. I just enjoy this knife. There it again, Open L France. So this will be the stainless steel one. And again, a wee easy open notch had been put in here so that you could get to it. So, and the next one was just what you can do with an open L. Look at that. One of my subs actually done that. This is a number 7. Look at that beautiful artwork on that. Now, I'd put some little writing on it. But then what do you see what he done to the blade? Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? A little carbon blade. Not sure how he done it, but it's absolutely beautiful. Look at that clip on that. The open L's have some beautiful clips, understated, but just beautiful. But to me, it was the artistry of doing that tree on there. I just think that's beautiful. And again, these are budget knives. They're not dear at all. And this is one that's been with me longer than all my, well, a lot of my knives. This is a little open L number 6 in carbon. This knife has seen some abuse. When I was bushcrafting, I had this little knife, and it's still as wickedly sharp. And I still use this today. I put this wee notch in probably about a year ago, and I haven't really been carrying it much recently. It's not one that I carry now. But I mean, it's been black, and I've cleaned it off, and it's just seen so much work when I was fishing, when I was bushcrafting. I loved this little knife. They take a wicked edge in seconds. And again, just a beautiful little knife to throw in your pocket. There's no weight whatsoever. Highly recommend Opinels. And you can try to do different things with them. And that's what I sort of wanted to get across with these three. There's lots you can do with them. Just, be brave, do things. They're so cheap, it doesn't matter whether you reckon they're still a good knife after you've done what you've done. This is another one. I just found this, and I'd got this quite a while ago now, I think a couple of years. I didn't even know what make it was. I bought this off Etsy. The blade, somebody has had a go at that with it, I think a rasp. It's such a bad edge on it. It's blunt now. But you have that, and you have this is a copy of the TL29, I think it is, the working blade. This needs sorted out. I bought this to sort out. One, because it was sabre and I didn't have any sabre knives. That locks out, actually, that the screwdriver side of it. But in beautiful wood. And I think these will be lovely sanded down and maybe given a coat of polish. You have your lovely clevis or bale, whichever you want to call it. Other than that, it's in really good nick. This is sabre, which is Japanese, I believe. Japanese. So I really need to get round to doing that up. I have lots of projects that lie there and maybe don't. I still like having it in my collection. It's battered, bruised, but this is a strange thing about it. I know, I know there's a really bad recurve where it's been the really bad recurve and all in here. But if I reckon I can I know I can sharpen that up and get a really lovely edge on that, that would still be as useful today as it was when it was made. And this is what you can get in a farm shop. And this is, these are real knife users, not like us. These are real knife users. And this is a farm shop down where my caravan is. And I was in one day. Now, these were a fiver when I started buying them. They've gone up now with inflation. They're now £6. But this is a swayback. You can see this little hammer. It's a Chinese brand, I know that. But it's just stainless steel, and it says on it Tomahawk. Tomahawk lamb's foot. Isn't that a lovely blade? Look at that. That is a beautiful blade. Lovely wooden handles. Fit and finish is actually really good. For £6 now, five when I got it. Absolutely stunning bit of wood. And it's still, look, these wee knives, it's still as sharp. This is what the farmer's going and buy. And then when they either bust it, chip it, or break the blade by poking, they go in and they buy another one for £6. Because that's all it is. It's just a tool, a work tool. And, this is your starting of knives. I mean, this is just, anybody can afford to buy this and collect this. I mean, and it's not just farm shops. There's another company here in the UK. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's a town in England. Can't think of it off the top of my head. But they do cheap knives. They're Chinese made. Let's look at that. I would call that a Wharncliffe. Because it is. That's why I said that as if it was a surprise. No, it is. It is a Wharncliffe. But it's beautifully done. Look how straight the bottom edge of that is. I've had much more expensive knives that didn't have a straight edge on it as this. This was, again, about £5. It might even have been less. I can't remember. It's just a basic hardwood handle. But, again, it's the most comfortable. It is a little... Yeah, it is a sort of little swayback, but you don't really feel it as a swayback. But it's lovely in hand, I have to say, beautiful in hand. And again, for nothing, for nothing. And listen to that snap. There's two. The snap is fantastic on them, and around the £5 mark, you can get through any day with this. We don't need this knife. But it's nice to have them, isn't it? That's it. It's just nice to have them. But having these for me, it just proves that what's right there, the quality you can get for a £5, £10 note is just fantastic. So I'm going to come along now to some of my favourite ones. This one I got not so long ago. This is a Joker knife made in Spain. And when it came, it was off-centre. Well, it's not touching the side. Oh, it is. Oh, yeah. Well, it is touching the side of the tip there, but it's not affecting the knife at all. A beautiful shaped knife. As I say, Joker. This is made in Spain. Oh, you can see Joker on the blade there. But what a lovely leaf-shaped blade. That really is like a spear point. beautifully and hafted. It is really, look at, again, look at that. And I didn't hand pick, well, I hand picked this one, but the rest I just ordered, and this is the way they came. Beautiful fit and finish that would put a lot more higher end companies to shame. I think this was about £20 or something. Beautiful little knife, lovely blade, budget steel. You know, it's going to be a budget stainless steel. Or no, it's a carbon steel in this one actually. I just haven't used it. But I was a bit annoyed that it came off centre, and that's what you sort of, we tend to forget that this is just a wee working knife that's going to, somebody's going to take the work, use it for 6 months, a year until it's battered and bruised, and then going to buy another one because that's what they've always done. That's what their, you know, their family has always done. And you can't beat that. Here's a clone. This is a clone I got on AliExpress. Was it AliExpress? No, it probably wasn't. It was probably one of the other ones. But this is a clone of a Chris Reeves Mnundi. And I got this to see what it was like in hand. I didn't know what size it was or anything. Not at the time when I bought it that I was going to buy one, or I had the money to buy one, because I didn't. But I just wanted to see what it was like. And that's what I done when I first started. Bought a lot of clones to see what I thought of them. But this just looked lovely. And it's, you know, wooden handles here, or wooden covers that are just stuck down, I would say, on top of it. The clip moves about. But it cost, I think, £8 I paid for this. It says on it it's 440C. Do I believe that? I have no idea. But I would say it wouldn't be far off it, because I have used this and carried it when I first had it. It's a beautiful knife. The Mnundi is small, but it get all four fingers on there. Beautiful little knife, as is this. And the hollow grind in this knife is so even. Sometimes you get a hollow grind on a cheaper knife, and when you rub your hand, you can nearly feel little lumps of thick points and thin points where it hasn't been ground well. This is ground perfectly, perfectly, and it's as sharp as a razor. It takes an edge, and it holds an edge as long as 440C. So is it 440C? I don't know, but it's good enough for £8. I just don't think you can. And I'm not encouraging people to go out and do it. It's what I done when I came around. I loved to see what knives were like. Knives that I thought I would never have in my collection. Now I have, you know. I bought Chris Reeves too. Now I bought two Chris Reeves knives with my own money. And I love them. But this is just staying in the collection, because for £8, in fact, this is going to my pocket today. That's what I'm going to set that aside. It's going in my pocket because I loved carrying it. Beautiful knife. And I want a Mnundi now. I just have to get the money together. So here you are. Here's another one. This is another wee one I found on Etsy for a couple of pound. I'm not sure. It says Cougar Junior. There we are. Cougar Junior. And vanadium stainless steel. Bit of an unusual thing to put in a blade, but this is brand new. It's never been used. And again, I got it off Etsy. Look at that little clip point. Isn't that beautiful? Lovely little clip point. Great action on it. And again, probably £10 off Etsy, if that. Do you know what I mean? Lovely brass bolsters at the end of it. Again, let me just show you the fit and finish you can get in some of these wee knives. It's just fantastic. It really is. I love it. And then one that I've got recently, and I absolutely adore this, a little lockback. This is a Schrade, made in USA, LB3. Now that looks rough, but it's actually razor sharp. This is the way it came. It had been used, abused and loved, and I love that about it. That it has been used and abused before me, and I haven't tried. I could sand that off if I want. No, it takes a wicked little edge there. And I'm not sure what Schrade does on most of the knives. Probably 420. Would it be 420 or somewhere along that? Some basic steel, 400 type steel, or 7CR. It might even be. I'm not sure with Schrade, but absolutely love this, and the most beautiful wooden handles on that. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. It looks like ebony or something like the Cocobolo. It looks more like than anything else. Cocobolo. Beautifully, and I mean, it's pinned, it's beautifully put together, fit and finish, again, absolutely excellent, really, really excellently done. So I love this, and I carry this quite often in my tracksuit bottom pockets. And then the two More expensive ones, this one's in the 20s, this was in the 30s. This is my Taylor's Eyewitness. This is their basic model. But now it's not a really hard snap on that, but it's the Hyra Castle that you get on Taylor's Eyewitness with this big bolster is perfect. Such a safe knife to use. Beautiful, and I love these bolsters that Taylor's Eyewitness do. Some of the nicest bolsters. Um, this had been filed, but one of the subscribers in Scotland took this. He took it all apart and put a little bit of bone in there just to break up the knife. And he was practicing, he was learning knife making at the time, and he sent it to me and said I could have it, and I was chuffed, absolutely chuffed to bits. Look at that beautiful little knife, love it. And again, look at that, listen to that snap. And my favourite of all these budget knives is of course my Arthur Wright & Sons. This is just their basic model. It's about 30, it's the high 30s, probably 38. So it's the most expensive by far down here. Lovely opening, lovely hardwood. This is I'm not sure what it would be, rosewood or something like that there, but it is just a beautiful hardwood. It has the most beautiful bulbous end. And look at that. I still, every time I pick up an Arthur Wright or an Ashley Harrison, they are the prettiest clip points in my eyes. And that's why I collect them. They are just beautiful. This knife has no half stops. Listen to that again. Absolutely super. So these are all knives. I'm going to just set that there to a finish. These are all knives that are wooden handled, that are budget price, and they still excite me. It still excites me to collect them. I mean, I literally only got this one, what, a month ago or something? And I've reviewed it doing that. I need to do it. This one's gone in my pocket today, because it's such a lovely knife to carry. And I'd forgot, I mean, when you go and pick some of these knives out, it really does remind you why you like them and why they're still in your collection. So there you go, folks. Another completely different video. This will be in my collection video. In my library, I have highlighted all my collection video as I'm doing them. And I'm going to do them over the space of this year. I think there's about maybe 4 or 5 in at the minute. So I'll add this one in today after I've uploaded it. And if you want to, just pop into my library and have a check out of the rest of the ones that I've done so far, if you haven't already seen them. If you have, thank you. If you fancy subscribing, please do. There'll be plenty more of my collection to come. And it's not a bad old collection, you know. I'm very, very proud of it. So come along, please like the video, share, all them other things. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye now.